As with integers and real numbers, we are also going to investigate now operations between characters. Again, it may sound weird to have operations on symbols, but let's see exactly what we mean in programming with operations on those. We can apply the plus operator, and one of the operands being a char literal. What will happen, for example, when we put a single quotes and the letter A inside as argument of the print line method? Then that will print A, which means that it will silently convert the character A into the string A from single quotes to double quotes, and it will print that string. Similarly, we can use the plus operator and have a string be concatenated with a character, and the result will be a string. Now, this is probably more natural to think, makes more sense to expect than what we're going to see now. We can also treat characters as numbers, because we already said characters are actually numbers. They map to numbers. So we can use the plus operator and apply it to two characters, for example. What will that do? That will add the ASCII values, as you see on the screen, of the two characters that we have. In the examples here, we are adding A to a number, A plus 0, that will add the ASCII value for the lowercase a to the value 0, and it will give us back an integer, which will be 97, because 97 is the ASCII value for the lowercase a. We can also make subtraction exactly the same way as we would with any other integer. We can subtract a from z and we will get 25, because there are 26 letters in the English alphabet. There are many more operations that we can perform with characters, and those are implemented in the class character, which is again a standard class in the Java library. We don't have to implement it, these are already implemented for us. We can invoke methods through the character class. Methods like isDigit, that tells us whether or not a particular symbol, a particular character, is a number. Method isLetter, or a method that will tell us whether it is a letter or a digit. A method that will tell us if the particular symbol is lowercase, is uppercase, it is a white space, or it will convert to lowercase or to uppercase, and many more methods. You can go ahead and look up the character class through any search engine and see the Java API and what kind of methods, what other methods you might be able to use in the class. What we're going to do now is take a look at some operations and some more examples on operations, because it is a tricky matter and it is worth our attention. So I will pull here a few things. One is an editor where you can see a simple program that I have written, and like usual our friendly terminal where we're going to compile and execute the code. What does this program do? Here we just have a few examples that we want to see what they will result to. In this example, in the first example, we're concatenating a string with a character. We have the string hello and we are adding the character you. What should the result be? I will write next to it what we think the result should be, but you should first, before you go ahead with the solutions, you should pause the video and try to find out the answers for each of these lines yourself. So since the first operand of the plus operator is a string, then the second operand will also be casted to a string. So the character will become the string you, those will be concatenated, and it will result into hello you. That's what we expect. In the next line, we see something very similar, but the other way around. We first have the character, the second operand is now a string. And it will be the same, oops, because the second operand is a string, Java with the plus will perform concatenation, string concatenation. So we would expect to see a pi as a result. This is a probably simpler example, the character t, and we have already seen in the slides a similar example. This will just print the string t. It will be upcasted to a string. Let's take a look at this example. We are using the operator plus on two characters. Now, again, we already saw an example of that. So whenever we are having two characters, the concatenation will not be a string concatenation. It will be an integer addition. And what are we going to add? We're going to add the ASCII table value for h with the ASCII table value for I. So let's go and take a look at the ASCII table. If you look up ASCII table, you will find many different websites where you can find it. This particular one is from Wikipedia. So we want, you can see that we have all of the uppercase letters. We also have all of the lowercase letters, and next to them we see the decimal equivalent and the hexadecimal equivalent. We also see all of the numbers, all the symbols for the numbers from 0 to 9 represented again through numbers, and they have the hexadecimal values from 30 until 39. And then also you see other kind of characters, escape sequences. We also see a symbol for null, a symbol for space, and so forth. Back to our question, h has the lowercase h has the value 104, and then I has the value 105. So if we add those two values, it will be 209. So back to our expectation, we expect to see 209 as the result. We expect to see that value printed. How about the next line? The character 2 plus the character 1. Again, this is not string concatenation because none of the operands is a string. Both of them are characters. The operation performed will be char addition, integer addition. But what are we going to add? Are we going to add 2 plus 1, so will the result be 3? No, we're going to add the ASCII table value for 2 plus the ASCII table value for 1. Let's go back to the table. The value for 2 is 50, the value for 1 is 49, so we expect to see 99 as the value. Even more challenging as we go ahead. Now we have 3 operands, and that by itself does not make it more challenging, but let's take a look. In order to understand better what happens when we add 3 factors, we need to keep in mind that Java finds the value of expressions from the left, applying the operators from the left to the right. So Java will first perform this addition, it will compute a result, and to that result it will add the third factor. So the first addition, the first time we're going to apply the plus operator, what kind of operation will that be? Will it be string concatenation or will it be integer addition? One of the two operands is a string, the other is a character. So it will perform string concatenation. So the result of the first addition will be the string f. Now the second addition will have as one operand a string f and as a second operand the character g. So it will again perform string concatenation, and the resulting string will be fg. Let's go and see what the result will be on the other example. Again, remember, we are evaluating the expression, we are finding out the value of this expression by applying the operations from left to right. So again, the very first thing we're going to do is the addition, apply the operator plus to these two factors, and to that result we're going to apply the last one. So now we have the plus operator with one operand being a character, f, and the other operand being another character, g. What kind of operation will that be? It will be an integer addition. So it will perform f plus g, where we're talking about the ASCII table value for f and the ASCII table value for g, which will be 102 plus 103, it will be 205. This is the result of applying the first operator. Now, to that number, we are going to add a string. And what will happen here is string concatenation. 205 will be silently upcasted, will be silently made a string, and then added to the other string, which happens to be empty here. So the result will be the string 205. And all we have to do now is pull up our terminal, and remember, we have to be at the same directory. The terminal, the working directory, needs to be exactly the same as the file, as the directory where car operations just .java exists. Otherwise, we would have to include the path into the name of car operations. And then we're going to just run the car operations, and hopefully we will get exactly what we thought we were going to get, which is actually the case.